inspire more dancers in Australia or something like that? If
Yeah,
I
I didn't
missed the
catch it,
question,
but good question.
yeah. Um, what I think would inspire more people is uh, more community, in a weird way. And I think what inspires people is like the reasons people come to the dance communities. Obviously, for me, the most important thing is the community aspect, right? And I think more community rather than more competition.
Hmm.
And I hope I don't get in trouble. And I think competitions in itself creates a community of people who come together over something that they're passionate about, which is competing. That's not the issue, but I think more. We need more factories. We need more people producing dancers. We need to make the community. We need to have a higher inflow. Like I know, for example, Jay here in Melbourne, he concentrates on um, the inflow, and he concentrates on having a big beginner base, and his aim. And I think it's similar to what you guys do on Gold Coast as well, right?
Yeah,
I think
similar model.
yeah. So I think the most important thing is high inflow, community based. More people coming into the industry, because the more people, and I think I get a little bit pissed off with people who criticize non-dancers doing salsa classes. And I've had some heated arguments with people who are close to me and people who are my friends or my peers and stuff like that. And I think one thing that's super important is, if it's not for those factories bringing people in, me and you don't have a career. It's as simple as that.
Mm.
Like, if it's not because of those people bringing the community in, we we need to be grateful for that, and I think we need to contribute to that rather than just working with our own market, which is at the top.
Mm.
So that's what I think.
From a community perspective, how like when you start out, obviously like the social dancing, people are really intimidated by it because they're afraid that everyone's going to watch them, and there's this sort of assumption that you need to get to a certain level to be able to go out and enjoy social dancing. So, what would you say to these people that are maybe embarrassed about going social dancing, and how do you become a better social dancer?
This is a funny question. This is a funny question because I think whether we accept it or not, there's a little bit of a hierarchy happening on the social dance floor that no one talks about, right?
Until now,
So that, sorry?
until now.
Yeah, so look, I think in terms of that, look, I think the most important thing is falling in love with the journey rather than the results. And I think when I look at the people who are the most successful and the most, the best at the top of the hierarchy are the people who love what they do rather than inspired by the results. So I think in terms of social dancing, we all know it. Anything you want to do in life, it's intimidating. If you're going to go talk to a girl, it's intimidating. When you're trying to go for any experience that's outside of your comfort zone or outside of your control, or it's new, it's intimidating. So in that sense, you just have to have, again, a good network of people around you. You need to have supportive instructors. You need to have people who push you and inspire you to go forward and challenge those demons or those scares or those inhibitions that you have. So
Mm.
in that sense, yeah, I think make it a community activity rather than an activity that you want to go and do on your own, because it's hard to do it by yourself. Some girls dancing and she's really great, and then the guy's like, oh my god, I don't want to go dancing. And the quicker you just enjoy the process, the quicker you'll go up the hierarchy. Like, and I hate to say it like that, and I know it's such a wank thing to say, but it's true. Like, I mean, yeah, just work hard, dance, have fun, and throughout the process you'll grow.
Mm.
Man, I'm getting flooded with questions. All right, let's answer some questions. Because I'm taking over your job. So, who are some of your favorite bands? So, I think there's an incredible Australian band in Melbourne called Quarter Street, and I danced my the one solo that is everywhere on my social media. It's the one solo that I did. It's actually by an Australian band, and I'm super super proud of it. Called Quarter Street, so they're really great. In terms of like the types of stuff that I like, I really like a lot of like the timba bands. I really like Calle Real. I really like Timba Live. I really like Maimbe. Barbaro y su Maimbe? Yeah, I think
Oh
that's
man, he's incredible. Yeah.
yeah. He's Barbaro is great. So yeah, I think I really like the timba stuff. In terms of like jazzy stuff, um, I don't know. In terms of jazzy stuff, oh, in terms of like compilations and stuff like that, Maximo Scalici is really cool. I really like his stuff. He puts a lot of cool stuff together.
Hmm.
That's just me pretending like I know about music, just chucking some names out there. You know, when you're like, someone asks
No
you like,
one
what type
knows.
of
No one
wine?
knows them.
Yeah, yeah. So when people ask like, what type of wine you like, and you say a couple of like fancy words, but you got clue. That's that's what I
No one
like.
asks me what kind of wine I like. I don't live in wine country. That's a Melbourne thing.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I get for it all the time because I got no clue about wine or coffee or you know.
There's a question there from Malik. How do you enjoy a dance with a beginner dancer? Do you spend half the song doing shines? Lol.
Definitely not the way to make a dancer feel comfortable. That's definitely not the way, bro. But you, I think the way I do it, because I think it's a part of my job, and I have to be able to enjoy dancing with people, you know, that are starting, and I think it's a part of our job and our role to inspire and to push and to motivate. So I think the way I do it is that I still do the simple stuff, but I just try to connect with the music. And I think
Mm.
when you have the music, it's almost like if this connection isn't as strong enough between you and your dance partner, you have the connection between you and the music. So I just enjoy being able to hear really good music and do a couple of my own things in there, but then making sure that I dance with the partner and making sure I smile and enjoy with them. And I think the way you enjoy, like, and I'm sorry, this might comes a little bit hard, right? But I think the way you enjoy dancing with a beginner dancer is getting them to do shit that they can't do and them smiling, getting inspired. And that's when you're like, yes, that's when you really enjoy it rather than like, oh, I'm going to shine on my own. You know what I mean? I only shine with people I don't want to dance with. Like, I remember someone like acts too cool for me. I'm like, all right, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. You know what I mean? All
For
right, keep going.
everyone that dances with Artia socially, please don't take it personally if he dances shines with you.
I
He might
don't
just
actually.
feel like dancing shines.
Actually, I don't dance shines a lot. Actually, when I'm dancing socially, I hardly dance shines. I might drop away and do a couple of swing steps. That's about it, right? But I hardly do shines away from my partner because I'm like I can do in front of a mirror. I like if I get to. Sounds weird. If I get to touch people, I want to touch people. Um, so let's keep going through the questions. All right, let's keep going.
There's a bit of a difficulty sometimes with people going full blown into dance, and it happens with a lot of industries, I imagine, depending on whatever it might be. But how would you recommend people maintain balance in their lives? Because it's not uncommon for people when they start to get into they're doing like full-time classes, they're social dancing on weeknights and weekends, and then they end up doing routines and teams and proams, and then they get burnt out and they can't handle dancing anymore. So how would you recommend people maintain and find balance in their lives so that they don't get burnt out with dance?
Don't make dance achievements a marker for your individual success, if that makes sense. I think what the very apparent thing about dance is that it's so intertwined with our need for affirmation, for our need for acceptance, and for our need for you know other people liking us. You know what I mean? And I
Mm.
think sometimes what tends to happen is that people get stuck in this cycle of like overachieving so they can be more regarded or accepted. And I think I've gone through that as well. Um, and so I genuinely think take dance as a hobby and as what it is to you rather than making your achievement in dance a reflector on your achievements in life. And I think that can happen sometimes. I mean, some people do it and then they make the transition over and they become dancers, like myself,
Mm,
like you, like, you know, a lot of the Sydney dancers that I know. But
mm,
um yeah, I mean, I think a really good example of that actually is, you guys probably know them, the artists from Melbourne, Stanley and Rhoda.
mhm,
They're great at, in my opinion, or for what it looks from the outside, I think they're great at having their personal life and incorporating dance as something that they both love and enjoy,
mm,
investing time into growth and achievement, but also not burning themselves and recognizing that they're not full-time dancers and they have careers outside of it. So that
mm,
whole thing is a hard balance to keep in
mm.
place. But as far
Yeah,
as, you
they're
know,
lovely people, by the way, as well. They're really nice people.
yeah,
Got a lot of time for
yeah,
them. They're really
they're
lovely
great
guys.
dancers.
So how do you do it in your life? Because you're like dance is your full-time job and it has been for a while now. So and I know that like when we were traveling in Europe and when we were traveling in China together, the planes, the trains, the hotels, the rehearsals, the workshops, the classes, the social dancing, skipping meals, like compromising your sleep and yourself in order to
Yeah,
fulfill this role.
yeah.
Like how do you find balance in that?
You don't. It's not a balanced lifestyle. It's. I don't know. Like, hold up. Oh my god! I stepped on this and oh, this. My whole bag smells like paint now. Um, yeah, it's not a balanced lifestyle. Like I compare myself now, and I think I'm in a lot more of a balanced state after COVID than I was when I was traveling. It's hard, man. It's like, you know, living out of airports, not sleeping, going in events, like an entire event one weekend, and you get like, you know, like you dance to like 4 or 5 a.m. The next morning you have to wake up and be at a. By the time you get to your hotel, you take a shower, you eat something, go to bed, and then like you have to wake up in 2 hours and teach workshops, and then you have to be there at tech rehearsals and then perform that night, and then you wake up and the entire weekend you've had like 6 hours of sleep, and then you get on the plane and you crash. I mean,
And
that's what it was
you
for
go back
me.
to Italy and start doing 5 6 hours a day of dancing, and then you start the next congress the next weekend.
It's a cycle, I think, that feeds people who are adrenaline and like spike addicted. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those
Hmm.
people. I get addicted to these spikes of emotion, these crazy weekends where it goes crazy, and then you fly home, like die on the plane, and then you go back to normal and then do it again.